On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And in front of a raucous crowd, this one is underway. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
It's easy to see the big-time arm. It's also easy to see the pinpoint accuracy and delivery. But how about his footwork as well? An amateur tennis player, that honed what he can do in the pocket, his ability to slide and move away from pressure and be able to find receivers open downfield.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hurry up, here we go.
On second down, here's Rosen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Bingo, bingo, bingo! That's my house, baby! That's my house! That's my house! Watch left, watch left! Tight end to the left, tight end left!
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now it's Rosen. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Looking to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about How much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, it's Simpson. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On is a man who began his career as a Dolphin, Caleb Sturgis, for the field goal. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. And it's 3rd and 4. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that 1st round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a 1st-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had 1st-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it?
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing, because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunky yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. And out of bounds right around the 20. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully they'll be kicking extra points instead.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
They'll run with Mixon. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I tell you, on that first glance, I thought he got it easily. But the mark was not a real favorable one. As it turns out, they do give him the 1st down, but that was very close to going the other way.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And this is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Dolphins have tied it. Now they can take the lead with the extra point. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought it in.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. But they face a second and long to start things out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they try the right side here. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, Rosen finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Gone!
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. It's caught. Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll look to throw again to Mixon on the check down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Over!
They'll look to throw. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we see Sammy Watkins getting ready to go again on offense. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal
I
foul.
think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved.
False start. Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They'll run it now out of the gun. There's a nice move. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Green, 39!
Now a handoff looking right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Dolphin football. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. To throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there for the Dolphins. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like when they were trying to get done, even though.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Buying time to his left. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. On the crossing route, complete. It's Oliver. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
first down. He'll drop to throw it. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. As his guys are in for 6, and the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is up to 15 now. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Devin McCourty brings him down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When the receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Raekwon McMillan coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack.
All right, here we go.
Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Room here to run. And just shedding him off there.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun now on third down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Swanson. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long.
Here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
No Texas start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
4 down. Hurry up, here we go.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Gun!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. We talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Gates has it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll drop the throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Looking to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll set up a throw. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. It's caught. Shepard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
Detroit!
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now back to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They're going to look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner?
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice Nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he floats one there, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw here. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked by Kevon Seymour.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
He'll look to throw. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack.
You see me? They can't stop me out here.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home.